guys. Just trying to get everything. There we go. All right. So, welcome everybody. It's Dusty and Dice. And today we're going to take a look at the Tidal Blades GM screen. That's what this guy is. First, I gotta get out of the way that Body Cook Games sent me a complimentary copy that I can share with you. But I'm going to tell you what I think. All right, we're pretty much taking a look at this together, right? I didn't write up anything beforehand. So first, let's take a look at the outside artwork, right? Okay, so your players are going to see this, right? Okay, so your players are going to see that artwork, which is pretty boss. I mean, you got this big old beastly thing, and you got this warrior step into it like, what you got for me, son? And I dig that. Now, you'll see on the sides here that boom, that it stands up. Obviously, it's a GM screen, but what I want to show you is something I really like about it. This is your kind of like your standard size GM screen right here. This is the GM screen that I use for 5e. And it looks cool, looks really nice, kind of looks like leathery vibe. Now, look at the Tidal Blades GM screen next to it. It's not as tall as my 5e screen, and I like that. You might say, why would you like that? Well, when I have this one up, it's hard to see over it. It's hard to see my players. It's really hard to see the battle map. This isn't as tall, so I'm going to be able to see my players. I'm going to be able to just kind of pop my head over and see the battle map. So I really like how tall this one is, because it's not going to be a pain to see over. So that's already a feature that I like about this. Now, and there's art on the side flaps as well. But let's take a look on the inside, shall we? All right, so on the first inside flap over here, we have the city and some keyed locations. It also gives page numbers where you can read about that location. Okay, I dig that. And then we move to the second inside flap, and you have the task difficulty. Of course, if you play Cypher, you know all about this. The difficulty is level 5. It's challenging. The target number that they have to roll is a 15. You know, a little bit of guidance on, you know, what that challenge would look like. Even trained people often fail. All right, so you have the task difficulty table right there. You have a reminder on armor, the type, the value, and additional speed, effort, cost per level. You know, that's good to have in front of you. I dig that. You have the weapons. So the type, light weapon, medium weapon, heavy weapon, and then the damage that they do. Okay, I dig that as well. Distance, a reminder, immediate, short, long, very long in the Cypher system, of course, and kind of a short description on what that looks like. Okay, I dig that. Recovery rules. That your first one's 1 action, second one is 10 minutes. Chat says, is this a video game? I believe it started as a board game, but then Monty Cook Games made it a full-fledged tabletop role-playing game. So let's take a look at the next inside panel. Special rolls. I dig this. So somebody rolls a 1, it's a GM intrusion. 17, it reminds you that it does 1 extra damage, and 18 does 2 extra damage. 19, a minor effect, and it gives you some of the minor effects, which is really nice to have in front of you, and that way you don't have to open up the book. 20 is a major effect. It gives you some examples of major effects. Once again, really nice that you don't have to open the book on that. I think this might be a watercraft. Maybe this is a watercraft as well, or a house, and it's like a cutaway section. Okay. You got the character species across the bottom of this panel. So your players are obviously going to be one of these species. and the page number that you can find the species chapter on. And then over here you have kind of the world map of Navari, and you have the fold, and you're going to have the page numbers where you can read more about the keyed areas on the map. Now, features that I like about this. One, it has the special roles right here on there. I appreciate that. Of course, the task difficulty right there. Love that. Armor reminder. Love that. The weapon, the distance, the recovery rolls. All that's awesome. You know, I love that, and I love the art. I love how tall it is. Like I said, it's not as tall as normal GM screens, and so that makes it easier to see over. Now, the areas that I think could have been improved, I don't know if I need a world map on my GM screen. To me, maybe that space would have been better filled with something else that's more pertaining to the game right in front of me. You know what I mean? I'm probably, I don't know. I'm sorry, I said world map. This is the city map. But the city map and the world map, I probably don't need those maps on my GM screen. I probably would have chosen something that I would use more immediate in game. You know, maybe a list of names or what have you. And then these cutouts, or you know, they look cool. I like it. I like how they look aesthetically, but why? I probably wouldn't have included them on a GM screen because it doesn't help me in the immediate game. Like what's right in front of me, what's happening. This is probably not going to be the most useful information. And probably the same thing with the character species. You know, I'm probably not going to need that right in front of me. But let me say this. I should have said this at the beginning. I haven't run Tidal Blades yet, so maybe this stuff comes in handy a lot. But just from my perspective right now, not having run Tidal Blades, the role playing game yet, I probably would have put in, you know, like a name list or I don't know, something that or maybe like a random encounter table, random event table, something like that. Just something that I could look over and, like, if the game's lagging, I can just roll a few dice and get things picking up again. I mean, I love how it looks, like the world map, but like I said, I would probably have put something on there. Yeah, Colton Evans, it definitely looks cool. Oh my goodness, I'm going to show you the art on the front of it. Yeah, the art looks very cool, but I probably would have replaced the world map with something that I could use in most games and pertaining to the immediate situation happening in the game. But does that make this a bad GM screen? Absolutely not. In fact, I think it's a pretty amazing GM screen because it has a lot of stuff that I am going to use pretty much every game. I mean, the task difficulty, armor, weapon, distance, recovery rolls, and special rolls. I'm going to use that like every game. So, and the artwork on the outside is going to give my players the feel of Tidal Blades as we play. It's going to give them something in front of them to remind them, like they are, like, you know, these like aquatic warriors, you know what I mean, fighting back these terrible monsters that are breaking through the fold or whatnot. Anyway, so that's what I have for you about the Tidal Blades GM screen. I hope you dug it. If you have Tidal Blades and you're interested in the GM screen, you know, let me know what you thought of the review. If you've played Tidal Blades or ran Tidal Blades, let me know what you think of it in the comments, because I have the book. I haven't run it yet, so I'm going to find out myself, but just let me know how your experience was. As always, this is Dusty and Dice, and you know the line, man. Grab some friends and roll some dice, bruh.